In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing episode 6, the season 2 of Chucky, titled He Is Risen Indeed. Now, this episode starts off where the last episode left off. We see that Andy is alive after a full year, but he is being tortured by the Colonel, a different variation of Chucky who is bald and just doesn't give a shit and thinks he's in the war, for that matter, and has these, trophies around his neck, ears or something like that, or flesh. And it's really interesting. Basically, we see that in this cabin that's in the woods, Chucky, or Colonel Chucky, kind of killed all the Chucky dolls because he wants to be this one person in command of everything. And basically, he just keeps Andy alive to torture Andy. Then we find that Dr. Mixter is also part of this whole entire elaborate plan, so to speak. But with that, we find that Dr. Mixter is actually Charles's therapist. And it's really interesting because she's known him since she was little. And seeing him grow up and become this person is just really interesting. So she's aiding Chucky, or the Colonel, into doing everything. Lexi and Devin kind of break Andy free and everything, and then Mixter shows up with the Colonel at the school or the orphanage or whatever you want to call it, and this whole chaos ensues that happens over the course of this one entire night. And also Glenda and Kyle and Nika are talking and run around, and Charles comes out and kind of says like, "Oh look, hey, Kyle's alive," this and that. So they're trying to figure everything out. I feel like the big climactic ending to this will be everyone just trying to figure out what to do with Chucky and, trying to finally get rid of him once and for all. The story is interesting. The story is funny. Not only that, Sister Ruth is so infatuated with Buff Chucky, and Buff Chucky's just like enjoying himself, being pampered by Sister Ruth and everything. And then kind of it's the Colonel versus Buff Chucky, and it's just funny how everything is. And the voice of the Colonel is still Brad Dourif, but a different variation of it, and it's really, really done well. So Devin and Lexi bring Andy back to the church, and they kind of, Andy gets kind of, brought back to life in a way, trying to figure out what's going on, and that's once and for all, Chucky has to go. Now, we get certain aspects of what's going to happen, what's going on, what the reasoning is behind everything, and then you think good Chucky's doing this whole thing, or whatever it is. Good Chucky escapes, runs to the tower, and in a shocking turn of events, does something to Nadine, probably the season's most beloved character, which I didn't expect or anticipate. You see the shock and awe on Lexi's face, especially Devin's face, and how everything just progresses into this point of how Jake realizes it's not what it seems anymore. Even Andy says to them they're all not good. There's never a good Chuck. You have to get rid of them all. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. This was a really well done episode, really well written. The pacing was good. Still funny and comedic at times. It's just you can't get over that aspect to it. The whole Colonel thing is funny, especially when he's remembering about the time in the Vietnam War. He's like, the horror. It's it's funny, but then, like I said, that shocking moment that happens to one of the season's best beloved characters is really different. I didn't expect it. So I'm curious to see how everything plays out. And now the whole reveal that Father Bryce sees that Chucky is real. Even, I believe, with Sister Catherine, if I'm not mistaken, if that's her name. There are so many characters to follow in this season, and, especially for certain episodes that I do forget names. But it's really interesting how everything's going to play out. I'm curious to see if this is the final aspect of how the season goes, meaning, is this it for the series, and then do they close it out, or will we get more, and will we get another season of Chucky? I mean, it's going to be fun. If you love the Child's Play movie series, if you love the first season of Chucky, you'll love this season, and it's going to be interesting just to see how everything progresses, because Don Mancini is giving carte blanche to do anything he wants, and this has been really fun. I can't say enough about how good this season is, especially it being better, and really, really way better than the first season. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 6, the season 2 of Chucky, titled He is Risen Indeed. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the aspect of everything happening? Did you find that shocking twist in the end of this episode? Did you expect it or did you not expect it? What do you think is going to happen now? And how do you think this season will end? And do you think we'll get a third season of this show? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. And I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 7 review of Chucky.